What's up, everybody? It's Chris, and welcome to The Rewire, and this is episode 2 of Losing Weight Mindfully, this new series thing that I'm doing for my little weight loss journey slash experiment, and just let you know, day 3, and I'm feeling amazing. So I just want to talk about a couple things that I'm learning by doing this whole weight loss thing mindfully, okay? My first issue is, I've struggled with weight loss for a long time. I put on, just to give you a number, I put on probably close to upwards of 200 pounds during my addiction, during that 8-year span. So weight has been an issue as a result of my addiction and just letting my body go, right? So I've been sober 4.5 years and just going back and forth, back and forth. I get defeated, I get upset, I just quit, I stop, I get back on it, da-da-da-da-da. So, anyways, one of the things that I've always had issue with is that damn scale, because I'm a very analytical person and I'm a very numbers-based person. I look at statistics, I look at scores, I look at all these things that involve numbers, and to me, numbers show progress. You get a test back, you get a grade on it, it shows you how well you did, right? When you look at a statistic, you look at percentages and things like that. I use numbers a lot to gauge progress, or is this good or bad? That's what I use numbers for. But when it comes to your weight, and this is something that's been told to me 1,000 times, like, get rid of the scale, and that drives me nuts. I'm just like, no, I need this scale. I need something to track my progress. But those of you who are familiar with anything, like any of this weight loss stuff in the body, and and there's all those things like muscle weighs more than fat, and I lift weights, so that's a possibility. Or then there's some days I might be retaining more water than other days, and all that kind of stuff. So the scale is not very accurate. So what I'm getting at is something that doing this thing mindfully has taught me, right? It's a whole new perspective that I'm looking at it. Because through this, I'm really paying attention to whether I'm hungry or full, whether I'm satisfied or still hungry. The other thing that I'm looking at while doing body scans and just being mindful of my body is just how I feel, right? Because like I talked about this yesterday, some of us, we get in that habit of just shoveling food down our throat, like we visually look and say, that is how much food I think will fit in my stomach to fill it, right? And then our eyes is not a great like depiction of how much food we need in our stomach. So sometimes we eat and then afterwards we're overly full and I'm like, oh, why did I do that and all this stuff? Well, slowing down and being mindful about what I'm eating and watching the way it feels in my body, what I'm noticing is, especially just looking at my choices that I'm making with food, like every single time I'm putting some food in my mouth, I'm noticing my body feels better. And what this practice has been teaching me is a whole different way of mindfulness that I've never really thought about it, but, bring curiosity to it, right? Because with curiosity comes wisdom. So what's been happening over the last few days and just saying, my body feels good. Now, why is that? And okay, well, I cut out these foods. I've been using these foods and I feel better. I've been eating less and stuff like that. And then now, when I look at these options I have when I'm, quote unquote starving, or I get a craving to eat something, I can sit back and say, do I want to put that in my body and potentially not feel as good as I do right now? So what I'm getting at is now my attention's kind of shifting where I'm not focusing on the scale and using that as a goal, but if on a day-to-day basis my goal is just my body feeling good, that's just going to naturally help me lose weight, because good foods make your body feel good and then you want to feel good, so you keep doing that. And that's that habit loop that we were talking about and reinforcing that good habit. So now I'm not as worried about what that stupid scale says, but I'm worried about how my body feels. So that is one of the beautiful things that's already happening during this journey. Like the scale thing is something that has tormented me for years, and now it's something where I'm looking at it in a completely different way. Next, the last thing I want to talk about is doing this mindfulness thing is really showing that even with 4.5 years sober, I still have this crazy kind of addict mentality. And so anybody who's watching this who's in recovery or anything, you might laugh and, because it's kind of funny and interesting. It's very interesting. I brought some curiosity to it, right? So one of my issues has been like, and a lot of people deal with this, like right when you diet, like everybody decides to bring like snacks and treats to work, right? Or you decide to diet and then you remember it's like Thanksgiving time or Christmas time or whatever, and just snacks are just raining from the heavens, and you're just like, okay, well, they're there. I just have to eat them. And you impulsively grab on, or, I'm notorious for this. I could be on a health kick, going to the gym and stuff like that, but if somebody brings donuts to work, I'm going to have some dang donuts, right? So today, the route to my office, every time I went to my office, there was this box of donuts that someone brought in, right? And I found myself going into my office and like obsessing about it. And that's very addict behavior, right? When, I walk past it, I'm like, I am stronger than this, and turn. And then I get to my desk and I'm sitting there like romanticizing, obsessing about like the donuts that are in the next room. And that's crazy to me because I never knew how powerful like those cravings for some of this sugary stuff actually was. The good news is no donuts today. I did not give in. But it's interesting to notice, be aware that my body and my mind is actually doing that. Because before, it was just that knee-jerk reaction. I'm walking to my desk, I see the donuts, I'm grabbing a donut, and that's it. And I'll say, oh, whatever, I'll just eat a salad for dinner, or whatever it is. But now that I'm bringing this level of awareness and curiosity to what my body's doing, how I'm feeling, the thoughts coming to my head, I'm able to have more control over just these little instances. So it's kind of interesting realizing that, my brain is doing what it used to do. But the great news is that I've been sober for 4.5 years. I remember my early sobriety being similar, and that eventually passed. It changed. So that gives me hope that this type of thing with those sweet and unhealthy foods, that's going to change too, as long as I keep doing what I'm doing and reinforcing these good habits. So that's where I'm at today. It's day 3. If you haven't checked it out yet, if you're interested, the app I'm using is called Eat Right Now. It's awesome. So if you want to check it out and come on this journey with me, go ahead and download it. But yeah, I'll catch you next time. Thanks.